guys, I'm Cara. I'm mum to this little 21-month-old here called Ben, and I post videos about being a toddler parent twice a week, so make sure you're subscribed if you've not already. In today's video, we are out and about on our daily walk. Luckily we live very close to a forest, and that's where we've been doing lots of our daily exercise. It's really beautiful. So we're going to be showing you some of the activities we do while we're out on our daily walk, and we're also going to be taking some things back to do some craft activities at home, which we'll be showing you later on in this video as well, so make sure you stick around. So let's go! So the beauty of all of the activities that I'm going to do today with Ben is that you can totally adapt them to whatever outdoor space you have. We don't have a garden, so the only outdoor time that we have at the moment is during our daily exercise, but we are lucky enough to live really close to the forest. But these activities can be recreated in your garden, in a local park, even out and about in your neighbourhood, and just do what works for you. One of the things I do is bring along a little glass jar with a handle and make it like a treasure jar, so Ben can fill it with all of the kinds of things he finds interesting, and then we can use them for craft projects when we get back home. So Ben, here's your jar. You want to put your sticks inside? Take home. Oh, lots of moss. So Ben is really loving his little jar. If you don't have a jar like this at home, you could also use a basket or a bag or even a little bucket. And he's loving collecting all of his little treasures to take home with him. Ben, what do you have in your jar?
Stick.
Sticks. What else?
Leaf.
Leaves.
Critter.
So for the next activity, all you need is some tape. I'm going to use duct tape, but you could use masking tape or sellotape, whatever you have in the house. So you just need to take a piece, rip it off and put it around your toddler's arm so that they have a sticky bracelet. Oh, look, you have a sticky arm. Wow. We're going to add whatever you want to stick to it as a special treasure. So look. If we want to stick a beech nut to it, we just go pop and it's stuck. Or you can stick a leaf. And here is Ben's beautiful woodland bracelet. Another thing that we really love to do is have a picture scavenger hunt. So we have this nature book from DK. I really rate their picture books. We have quite a few of them and they're really great for language development and for lots of different types of activities. So we'll show Ben one of the pictures and then together we'll go and look for that thing. If you don't have a nature book like this, you could also just use pictures that you've drawn or pictures from the internet and create your own little mini flashcards or scavenger hunt sheets, and it's really great fun and we can all do it together. Here we've got some leaves. Do you think you could bring me a leaf? Yeah? Oh, a leaf! Oh, thank you!
Dann kannst du mir als nächstes einen Stock bringen. Einen Stock. Kannst du mir einen Stock bringen?
Ja.
Danke. Ein Stock.
Shall we look for a squirrel?
Yeah.
Squirrel?
Yeah.
As far as the scavenger hunt is concerned, it doesn't have to be squirrels and mice like what we see here in the woods. It could be a certain colour of car or a traffic cone. And my final game is a very simple version of I Spy. Obviously Ben is too small to know letters yet, he's just starting to recognise colours, so right now it's just a game of recognition while he's such a young toddler.
Ben, hörst du den Specht?
Do you hear the woodpecker?
Tok, 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 tok. Ist ein Specht?
I spy with my little eye grass. Can you see some too?
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah.
I spy with my little eye a field. Can you see one too?
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah.
I spy with my little eye a daddy. Can you see one too?
Yeah.
There! The I Spy game is a favourite for us when we actually need to get somewhere. So now Ben's in the backpack because we're going to get home and get dinner on. So it keeps him really occupied while we're walking through the town and while he's just sitting still. I spy with my little eye a car. Do you see one too?
Yeah.
Cars! So it's now the next day and the weather today is not nearly as good as it was yesterday, so I'm really glad that we were out and made the most of it. Today we're going to be using some of the things that we collected yesterday for some crafts and activities, and the first activity is just set up over here, so I'm going to show you what that is. Nature Smash activity. So Ben has got a little wooden hammer here that's from one of his hammering toys, and I've got a little bowl of flowers that other people would consider to be weeds. The idea is that Ben's going to smash them, the colours will come off and we'll make some really nice pictures. As hard as you can. Hard, hard, hard. So as you can see, this doesn't make the most beautiful picture in the world, but it is a process that Ben is really enjoying. My next activity is honestly the easiest activity to set up. I actually did a version of this activity in my language activities video, which I uploaded last week, so I'll link that below in case you want to check that out as well. But I've got a nature talking basket. So all I've done is take some of the things that Ben collected in his little glass jar yesterday, some of the things that I collected in the cloth bag, and put them in a basket. All we're going to do is have a chat about them. Some of them I know Ben already knows the words for, some of them he doesn't, and we're just going to explore them together. So as you can see, it's just filled with some super simple things: a feather, an ivy leaf, a dandelion leaf, a daisy, some moss. What's in here? Oh, a stone?
Plop.
Plop, yeah, we plop it in the water, don't we, when we're out for a walk? Will we take that with us on a walk today?
Yeah.
Yeah, and plop it in the water?
Yeah.
Okay. Pull it out, and what's that? That's ivy?
Ivy. Fire.
Feather. That's bark.
Dog.
A dog barks, yes, but a tree also has bark.
Cone.
A cone, a pine cone.
Yeah.
So my next activity is a very messy one, but it is amazing for the toddlers. Ideally this would be done in an outdoor space. We don't have one, unfortunately, so we are going to do it on our kitchen floor. I've put down a tablecloth and lots of old towels, so hopefully we will limit the damage. I have filled lots of glasses with water, some of them with coloured water, just water coloured with green food colouring, and we're going to make some nature potions. I've filled bowls with all the things that we've collected, and the idea is Ben can just play with the water, move them from jar to jar, and explore all the different materials. So here's what I've set up for him. I just have 2 bowls filled with some of the things that we collected, some grass, some flowers, and I have lots of different bowls set out. So a little egg cup, a glass bowl here with some daisies in it, and some jars filled with water. This one here is filled with water that I've just added some green food colouring to, and some of the kind of shrumpled up leaves that we collected yesterday. And then I also have some of his sticks that he collected in his jar, just so that he can use them as spoons. Ben has been exploring this now for such a long time. It is so good for so many skills. He's pouring lots, he's transferring things from one container into another. So it's an activity that he loves and that I really love for his development as well. And the aftermath looks a little bit like this, which I don't think is too bad. Today is fast becoming a very exhausting parenting day. Ben has been up since 5:30 this morning. He's just refused any form of lunchtime nap, so he's going to be super exhausted and cranky, and I'm not really sure how any more organised activities are going to go for today, but we will give our last activity a try in a wee minute. Right now we need coffee. Thomas has been really busy making this amazing looking sourdough bread, so we're really looking forward to tucking into that at some point as well. So the next activity is not for the faint-hearted. It involves paint and quite a lot of mess, but it is something that Ben usually really enjoys. So it's a nature printing activity. Essentially all I've done is set out some paints and some of the things that we gathered on our walk yesterday. So here's what I've set out for our nature printing. I've put my trusty tablecloth back onto my kitchen floor, and I have taped some paper to the cloth using some masking tape. I generally find that this works really well because toddlers find it difficult to hold the paper and paint at the same time. Then you'll see I've put a range of the things that we collected yesterday, and all things which I think will make pretty cool prints out for Ben. I've also made this little paintbrush using some grass, some twine and one of the twigs, which I think should make some really interesting patterns. And then I've got some natural coloured paints in the middle here. Normally I put his paints in jars so that we can reuse them, but obviously a jar is going to be a little bit narrow for dipping pine cones and things like that into, so I've put it in some bowls, but we will reuse these plastic bowls again for painting as well. Ben has gone straight in the bath because he was covered from head to toe in paint. You may be able to hear the shower going. He really loves having a bath, so this is another activity in itself. Ben is really cranky this afternoon, so he didn't love that activity as much as I expected him to and as much as he normally would, but hey, that's toddlers. The finished pictures though do look really cool. This is one of kind of my arts and crafts hacks that I have mentioned before in other videos, but putting them on a clothes horse means that they dry really nicely and stay out the way as well. I'm actually thinking about getting some frames, just cheap frames, and putting some of this artwork inside for some family members. So those are my ideas for today. If you have other ideas, things that you do when you're out and about with your toddler, or crafts and activities that you do with things that you collect, please let me know down in the comments. I would love some more inspiration and other ideas for things that we can do together. Today has been a bit of a struggle for us, and I think that a part of that is to do with the fact that we have tried to do a lot of organised activities with Ben today in order to make this video. Normally we would only do 1 or 2 organised activities maximum in a day, and he would have free play and just relax playing with his toys for the rest of the time. So don't feel under any pressure to do huge amounts of activities with your toddler. They are so happy, and I think it's really good for them just entertaining themselves as well. And thank you so much again, and we'll see you in our next video. Ben, do you want to say bye-bye?
Bye.